finally, on waking 2 months later, she had the deep voice of a man, and she was calling herself Ronald. She regained health very quickly, and on being released, she, or he, tried to assault a man called Frank Elliott. She was dragged off him by locals who were all very frightened of her deep male voice and the strangely man-like strength she had. She looked like a little old lady, but she fought like an athletic young man. And on one occasion, Celia's daughter Margaret had asked her mum if she was still in there, and Celia replied in her mother's voice, "Yes, help me, but who is this man?" Only for the male voice to take over saying, "Get away from me!" 3 people heard exactly that and testified to it. Celia was found dead outside where an estate agent now stands at a road junction in Wickham. Her head had been caved in. Much more recently, there have been some horrific attempts at demonic possession. In 1933, Mrs. L. Neville of Wickham awoke to find her son, aged 5, writhing around in his cot, swearing in the voice of a much older man. When he stopped, the child calmly looked up at his mother and said, "Bitch, die!" and then began trying to scratch her or hit her. She'd had to slap him to release the grip he had on her blouse. She called for a local vicar to exorcise the boy and purge him of the demon. And during the exorcism, the child, a boy called Michael, bit the finger off the vicar, chewed it, spitting out the bone and swallowing the bloody flesh. Yet within the past 3 years, one of the terraced houses in Wickham has suffered a demon that has tried to enter the bodies of several people staying at that house. The husband, wife, little girl, and 3 friends have all felt something late in the night trying to take over their bodies. Les explained. I was lying in my bed having watched some late night TV when there was this sort of long strand of mist, and I saw it heading towards me. At first, I must admit, I thought my eyes were playing tricks, but it started going into my mouth. Now, this may have looked like smoke, but in my mouth it felt big and heavy, forcing its way down my throat. I was panicking and almost throwing up, wriggling, trying to cough it out, and just as I did, there was suddenly the shape of a man, and a bloody angry one, standing in front of me. I was shouting and yelling, and I woke the wife up. She then told me that the exact same thing had happened to her too, but she thought I wouldn't believe her. The kids and guests to the house were never told by us what had happened, yet they told us identical stories. On one case, my friend, who's bipolar, said he could hear the voices of people screaming in pain, and then something took him over. We saw it happen. He was writhing around in agony. Then his cheek started peeling as if 4 fingernails were clawing at him, dragging them across his cheek. We saw the wounds open. We could see his skin being pressed into. We saw a bit more floating smoke going towards his mouth and nose, and then he began speaking in a woman's voice. The most frightening thing was that the voice was so incredibly calm. "Take me to see Malcolm," the female voice said. I didn't know anybody called Malcolm. And then my friend came at me, put his hands around my throat so tightly, I thought I was going to die. I punched him so hard and broke free, huge red handprints on my throat. And suddenly my friend was back again. Everybody in the house saw the entire thing happen. In total, 8 of us saw it. It seems especially there in Wickham. If you feel weak, or if you have the flu, or if you're a little bit poorly, there could be something moving around in your house, wanting to set up home inside you.